Batteries fully charged. Launch ready for AEW Spark in 3, 2, 1. All Elite Wrestling discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Spark for what's going to be October 13th, 2022. So if you guys are watching this video and you're wondering why we don't talk about the AEW Dynamite episode that's going to happen, it's because we recorded it before then. So don't get mad at me. It's just kind of how it worked out. But I'm on the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with
Chris.
It's nice to have like a two-man booth because I don't have to do all this like fancy introducing like that you're the man of 1,000 holds and all this type of stuff. I can just like point to you and you could just introduce yourself. It's really nice when that happens.
How life is.
It happen often, but I just realized I probably should have put my headphones in, but I'm not going to do that because we lost our audio last time that happened. So I'm just going to keep the headphones off. So if it doesn't sound the best, it's because the headphones are off. So, but yeah, so we're doing AEW Spark. I haven't done Spark in a while. So we're just going to like clam all of the Sparks or all the AEW shows. We're not going to like review them one by one, but we're going to just kind of do like a brief talk about it. If you're wondering why there hasn't been any videos lately, is because I've just been a busy boy. So is Chris. With wedding stuff for my sister. I had to miss AEW Grand Slam because the last Spark that I tried to edit, the file got corrupted and it was just a bunch of BS. So I was just really sad and just really angry and all that type of stuff. So like it was just stupid. And then just schedules haven't lined up. So we're doing AEW Spark. And then I thought we weren't going to do it this week because I thought this was going to be the Tuesday night Dynamite. So I was like, okay, let's just wait till next week. And then I realized, oh wait, that's not for a while. So, yeah, so you're getting to Spark now. We're going to talk about some of the big shows that happened and all the big news stories. You're mainly going to have to cover the news stories, Chris, because I haven't been able to keep up with the news as of late because of the busyness, and I just don't want to hear about that backstage drama anymore. I'm sick of it. But so that kind of just gives you my thoughts there. But let's just talk about the stuff that we're just seeing on screen. Nothing behind the scenes right now. So we're going to start off by talking about Grand Slam. We're not going to talk about the whole show as a whole, but I want to talk about the big moments that happened on that show. I'm going to start with you. What was the biggest moment that came out of Grand Slam? This can be from the Elevation taping that they did, the Rampage. I know it's been a couple weeks, the Rampage, the Dynamite. Yeah. What was the biggest thing for you that like made you go, oh, I can't believe this happened, or like, that made you really mad or something like that happened at AEW Grand Slam?
The one thing that shocked the hell out of me, and I was really surprised, it was the legend himself, the Great Muta.
Yeah,
I was absolutely shocked to see him show up in AEW.
I
know he had done some stuff in the beginning, I think. In the very beginning, he was there in 2019, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
But it was surprised to see him save his oldest rival in Sting. That was surprising in its own right. That was really cool. I really like that. I think Saraya debuting was cool, but like, I don't know. It's been it's been like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now since she's debuted, and I don't know. I just don't know. I mean,
yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll start with we'll unpack it. Let's start with the Great Muta showing up. So it was in the tag match. It was the no disqualifications, no count out tag match with Brody King and Buddy Matthews versus Stin and Darby Allin. The match went on a while. I was surprised it kicked off Rampage, considering the fact I think it'd be the Battle Royal because a lot of people had just seen that world title match, but it kicked off Rampage. I actually think that was actually a good choice. It kept the crowd invested and everything like that. Yeah, so it was like when Stim was handcuffed and everything, and he was like laughing. We didn't really know why he was laughing. We thought he was just enjoying the pain or something. And then the Great Muta showed up, and it was really cool. He I think he spit mist into the face of Julia Hart, and she took that very unsafe table spump and everything like that. And then yeah, it was just really cool to see the Great Muta show up. He's kind of on his last run in wrestling. He just did like earlier in January when Pro Wrestling Noah went up against New Japan. I think he was in the main event. It was like him and somebody else versus Okada and somebody else. So he's kind of on like his last run. So it's kind of cool that he did this. And he came out as the Great Muta too, because I don't know if you know, when he's in Japan, he comes out like, just as himself and all that type of stuff, which I think is a mistake for him.
As Keiji Muta.
Yeah, which I think is a mistake. Say that again.
Which is his real name.
Yeah. I think it's a mistake for him to do that because it shows he didn't even look that old when he came out like in the Great Muta like gimmick. So I think he should just stay in that gimmick. But yeah, so it was cool to see him. The thing we do know is that Buddy Matthews, this was his last match in AEW. He's going to be taking a break from wrestling. I think he just said this so that way he could just get his release from AEW and go back to WWE, which I think is going to happen a lot with these talents that are going to leave AEW, which we're going to talk about when we talk about the backstage stuff. But I think that's fine because he got out at the right time because I think if he had stayed in AEW any longer, he would have just been like a dog exclusive opponent, like because there's no leader of House of Black right now. And I think if they're going to push anybody, they're going to probably push Brody Kin. I say that, but he hasn't been on TV since this match, so maybe not. But Buddy Matthews, I think, got out at a good time. This was basically, and he got out at a really good hurrah too, because he got to do stuff with the Great Muta and Stin and everything like that. So
yeah,
not a bad way to go out in AEW. So, and then I'll talk about the Saray debut. So it was after the women's interim women's championship 4-way match where it was Britt Baker, Tony Storm, Athena, and Serena Deeb. Tony Storm retained the belt. I was surprised that Britt Baker take the loss, but considering the fact that she ended up being more talked about than anyone else in the match, I don't really think it mattered. So that's why I think she was fine with taking the loss. Notice, like I said, I keep saying that about a Britt Baker match because she ends up being the most then talked about coming out of the match.
The show is.
Yeah. And then, Saray debuted, or Saray, whatever. Formerly known as Paige from WWE. Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't expect to see her, come to AEW. And I thought it was going to be a game changer. I was thinking, maybe the women's division is going to finally start to be used better. And if anything, I think it's hurt the women's division more because let's talk about. So then the next week, she came out and she basically cut the same promo that Stephanie McMahon cut all that time ago in 2015 when she talked about how there was a women's revolution going on and everything like that. They basically tried to redo that promo, and the crowd didn't care. The crowd lost interest. To be fair, she hasn't done a promo in the ring in front of a crowd in a while, so maybe she was a bit nervous and all that type of stuff. So, but the promo that she cut was bad. And if it's exactly the same segment that you saw when Stephanie McMahon called up Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch that time ago, the exact same thing. They had the 4 main baby faces in the ring. It was Tony Storm. That's even bad. Tony Storm, the champion, was a background character in this segment. That was even terrible. It was Sky Blue, who is never seen on Dynamite, so they tried to make her feel like a big deal. Madison Rayne, who they haven't made feel like a big deal at all since she's come to AEW. She's supposed to be a coach and everything like that, and supposed to do all this stuff, but she hasn't even won a match on the main AEW programming since she's shown up. And then Athena, who felt like the most least important that she's ever felt when she went out there. And then
not even important at all.
Yeah, and then I felt bad for like Serena Deeb and Tony Storm had to have a match afterwards. He ended up having a really great match, but that promo killed the crowd so much that nobody even cared about the match by the time it even happened and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then they did they randomly announced it was a lumberjack match too, out of nowhere too. Like it was all of a sudden a lumberjack match, and they tried to make it seem like it was we're doing new fans, we're doing a lumberjack match, when all they did was just clump all the women together in one segment, like they all.
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, and then they did some type of tag match, I think this week. When I say this week, I mean last week. It was like Tony Storm and somebody, I don't even remember who it was. It was it was Tony Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightingale versus Penelope Ford, Jamie Hayter, and Serena Deeb. And it was just a random tag match that was just added onto the show. Willow Nightingale got the win, and somehow it led to her challenging for the TBS Women's Championship. I don't even know how that even happened. Like,
it's
lost in like 10 minutes. So, yeah, there's your. And then this week we're gonna talk about it. I'm just sick of this. They're doing another tag match. I love tag matches and everything, but it's the same thing every week. Like, what are you doing? Like, and then
enough's enough.
And then Saraya, whatever's we didn't even know if she was cleared. Now she is cleared, and it looks like that she's going to face Britt Baker. And she's even taking shots at WWE that don't even need to be taken. Like, she talked about how in a promo, like, I can go to a boss and be listened to and all that type of stuff. And I can actually feel like I'm being listened to. Like, you could have just gone back at WWE and done that. Like,
yeah, that was so stupid when she said that.
And then she said this is like the best women's division in the world. It's like, it probably is, but the booking just such crap that it's not. So it's like, like this, honestly, and she wasn't even cleared to even wrestle when they brought her in. So you basically wasted a bunch of money to bring somebody in that wasn't even, like, wouldn't you wait for them to get cleared before you could even, sign them?
Yeah, but they got to sign them before WWE does. That's their thing.
Yeah. It's like that's the women's division AEW. We've talked about it before, but I think they always make the
nauseum.
Yeah, we talked about it ad nauseum, but I think they always make enough of a change where we think, oh, this is going to be a change. But I think that's the worst part about like Saraya's promo is, nothing's going to change out of the women's division now because we've been lied to so often about the women's division in AEW.
Yeah. Care enough.
Yeah.
Give all this 10. Don't fucking care about them.
Yeah. Like, honestly, you could make a hell of a women's division if you really put the time and effort. You know how there's not a change too? They love all the women's segments, not even just in a match. All the women's there's like a dedicated woman hour to AEW. Like, everyone talking about how this women's show coming to AEW and all that type of stuff. No, there's a women's segment every week on AEW. They have to say, okay, we just have to clump all these women's segment into one thing. And
just so people shut up.
Yeah. This women's division is a freaking failure. It's
a disaster.
Yeah,
not even a failure, it's a fucking disaster. It goes beyond failure.
I am so sick of it. It's basically the Britt Baker division because that's the only person that Tony Khan cares to push. Because everybody else that's been champion either can't get booked or is a background character to someone like Saraya's. I don't even care. Like,
that's what it is, though. It's his thing. It's like, if you're not Britt Baker, you're unimportant.
Yeah. Now Saraya apparently, but that may wear out once she's out of that feud with Britt Baker. She may just go back to like Dark and all that type of stuff. So it's like, what a mistake Saraya made signing with AEW. You could have gone to WWE and gotten cleared and everything, and like had like such a prominent. You'd be like the biggest star in the division right now. So like, what a mistake. she'd be like the biggest storyline with like Bailey and Damage Control right now, going up against them. But nope, you main event Raw every week probably. So,
oh yeah,
and yet you have the audacity. You have the audacity to say that I have a boss that's going to listen to me. Oh yeah, why don't you talk about that in like 3 months when you're wrestling on Dark every week? Why don't you talk about it then?
exactly. You should, because she will. It's what it is. It's
Yeah.
where they go. It's where they go.
This women's division is a disaster. I'm sick of it, and I'm not talking about it anymore. We're done for now. Yeah, and then I'd say the biggest things for me. I hate that we had to start. We kind of start on a negative, and I want to talk. Let's get back to being positive here. I think the biggest thing that came out of the Grand Slam is even though I predicted it was going to happen, I still can't believe it did. Was Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor World Championship? I thought this was a great decision. I loved it. We knew Chris Jericho was going to get to his 8th world title reign at some point. I did not expect it to be the Ring of Honor Championship, and I think this does so many great things for the Ring of Honor brand because, one, you have the belt on Jericho. He's going to make that title feel important, which he already has. And I just can't believe it because I talked about it when we did the predictions for it. I know we've had people like Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, and everything like hold the ROH title, but they weren't the big stars that they were now. Like Chris Jericho, being a big star that he is now, holding the Ring of Honor World Championship is huge, and it does show that there's finally going to be some plans for the ROH brand. I think like the next ROH pay-per-view is going to do really good buy rate because he'll be in the main event of the ROH pay-per-view probably because I imagine he'll be the champion going into it. It adds more layers to the feud between him and Daniel Garcia, and it just adds really good depth to his character. I love how he's basically trying to say that he's this honorable Ring of Honor World Champion, but he does things like, when he does the Code of Honor, he'll either just flip the guy off, or I remember when he did it one week when the tag match with him and versus Daniel Garcia, he like shook his hand, but it was kind of like a disrespectful type of handshake. And he's laid out Bobby Cruz. What a meanie he was to lay him out. That was mean, but and I love that he's going to go after like all of the Ring of Honor legends pretty much. He's going to start this week with Bryan Danielson. And I think it's really good stuff. I think he's going to work his way through all of the ROH alumni. I expect him to go through Samoa Joe one of the times, maybe obviously Claudio, because he did say that he's going to go after, he wants a rematch for the championship. So I really like Chris Jericho as Ring of Honor World Champion. I just can't believe that it happened. And I think it's just done wonders for ROH. He had a really good match with Bandito a couple weeks ago. And he basically was honorable by giving him his rematch that he never got. And then he unmasked. Well, he didn't unmask him, but he took because he doesn't really wear a mask. He wears like a hood that's like a mask. So, like, I just love Jericho as ROH World Champion. I think it's really worked. And it gets, you're guaranteed to see the ROH title every week because they always make it a point to get Jericho on the show somehow, some way when he can be on.
Oh, they always do, yeah.
I love it. What do you think of Jericho as ROH World Champion?
I like it. I feel like Claudio's reign was just a little too short for my liking. I felt like it could have been a bit longer because I felt like he just got the belt. But I guess Jericho being in charge, like the champion, it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah,
at all. Not even. So I'm happy. It's definitely it brings prestige, I guess, to the brand.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, I just love it. And I love how they continue the feud with him and Garcia now too. Where Garcia's slowly turning into a baby face, and it's been really good stuff. So I love it. And then we have another big thing that came out of Grand Slam was the tournament to crown the AEW World Champion. Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley had a hell of a match for this championship. It was a hell of a tournament finals. I really didn't know who was going to win. John Moxley obviously makes the most sense to win it, considering the fact that he's kind of like currently going into a feud with MJF and everything like that. But really could have gone either way. They've already set up his first feud for the championship. He's going to face Tuesday night. He's going to face Heyman Adam Page, which makes sense because, Heyman Adam Page won the Royal Rampage, which I didn't expect that he was going to win the Royal Rampage Battle or whatever that was. Because I thought they would do like a lower card here to get Moxley to get a win, but I like that we went with Heyman and Page because it's a match I've wanted to see since AEW pretty much started. I do think they should have done this match a little sooner when Moxley came back from being sober and everything. They could have done like a nice sobriety storyline where they both battled their demons and everything like that. But I like the fact that we're getting the match now because I feel like if you don't get it now, there's going to be no other chance to do it. They're both on the top of their game right now. It's really good stuff. I think, Moxley's probably obviously going to retain the title, but when we do predictions for like that show, we'll talk about it then. But I think, it's going to be a nice feud. Either guy could go up against MJF because they've both been pro AEW, and the whole thing is that MJF is anti AEW. So I'm all in favor of this feud going into it, and I've absolutely loved it. So what do you think of John Moxley winning the belt and his first feud that they've set up and everything like that?
I like it. I think Mox winning makes so much sense, and it's the right person. MJF is the asshole. It just works.
What about the feud with Heyman and the feud with Heyman Page too? What do you think of that?
It's interesting. It's for sure something we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think ever actually.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure.
One thing we know since we're on the topic, John Moxley just signed a 5-year extension with AEW. I think this is a good thing for AEW because it gets morale back up there that they were able to keep one of the big stars. I think it makes sense that he re-signed because he seems very happy in AEW. He's been flag bearer for them, and he can it just is good for AEW to have him in the fold because he's been such a big player for them and everything like that. He can continue to work his New Japan dates and do his thing in the Indies. So I think I'm happy that he resigned because if he didn't resign, then AEW would be in serious trouble, considering the fact that they may lose MJF in 2024 and possibly now the Elite. So if he did not resign, the AEW would be in they're going to be in massive trouble, but the massive trouble would start earlier than it did. So, other things that came out of Grand Slam, I'll just touch on them. A sleeper match that we got on the Rampage portion of it was Jungle Boy versus Ray Phoenix. That ended up being like a hell of a match. I can't believe how good that match was. It went a while, and I really loved it. No complaints about it there. Other things that happened is the Acclaimed finally won the AEW Tag Team titles against Swerve and Our Glory. It was absolutely the right decision. We were talking all about that. We basically said that, if they didn't win the belts there, then they were dead and they ended up winning the belts, and it was probably the most over they were going to be because of the fact that it was in their hometown and everything like that. So that was good. Other things that happened is Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs blew off their feud in the Lights Out match, where Ricky Starks ended up beating Powerhouse Hobbs in the Lights Out match. That ended up being the right decision. And the good thing is about it doesn't hurt Powerhouse Hobbs too much, considering the fact that it was a Lights Out match, and technically that doesn't count in his record books because it's a Lights Out match. It doesn't count in your records. So it didn't happen. So,
it's their way of it's a way for a big star to take a loss without actually taking a loss.
Yeah. And then Wardlow beat Tony Nese and Josh Woods. And afterwards, Wardlow finally got his hands on Smart Mark Sterling. Say finally, he's gotten his hands on him like 3 times. I don't know why it was such a big deal that time, but whatever. what else happened? Pac retained his All Atlantic Championship against Owens Cassidy in a real bomb boner. He basically, I don't think he turned heel, but he just is acting more of a heel right now because he used like the gavel, the ring bell gavel to cheat the win. So that was it's good for Pac. I'm really
fucking cheater.
Hey, you got to do whatever it takes to win. So good for him. Let's see. We already talked about the Battle Royal. And that was about everything that happened on. Jay retained her TBS championship against what's her name, Diamante, in a terrible match. And afterwards, the person that she was like accompanied with turned heel, who they never explained who she was. So I don't even understand that. So we're not going to talk about it anymore. And on the elevation portion of Grand Slam, the biggest thing that happened there was Serpentico got to his 97th career loss in AEW. That's awesome.
Sir,
I am mad about something. He's at 98 now. He got to 98 on
Serp.
Yep.
Yeah, sir.
I love the fact he got to 98 now. He got to 98 against Brandon Cutler. He missed a week though. I know everyone's gonna say, well, you gotta stretch these storylines out. Nah, you don't gotta stretch nothing out. Just show up and lose. It's not that hard. Show up and lose.
Let's go, sir.
I love the fact that he's just a freaking nothing. Like
he's just a sir.
Yeah. Paul White returned on Grand Slam. He did commentary for the Rampage Battle Royal, which was good for him. I'm happy to see him back in the booth. I think that's everything that happened on Grand Slam. I don't think there's anything that I really missed already. Oh, Luchasaurus and Christian Cage returns and beat up Jungle Boy because they're mean. That's not very nice. But they're not nice people.
The holy asshole.
I think that's it. That's about everything that happened on Royal Rampage.
Ass.
Anything else that happened on Royal Rampage that I missed that you want to make sure we talk about?
No.
All right.
I don't think anything really happened.
What do you think of all that extra stuff with everything I just talked about?
Serp.
Yeah.
Let's go, Serp.
And by let's go, you mean lose, right?
Let's go. It's got to be quicker, Serp.
Yeah. Now let's move on. We're going to talk about the 2-year anniversary of Dynamite show because that was a pretty big show that happened. Things that happened on that show, it was a longer episode of Dynamite because it was their anniversary, was Heyman Adam Page beat Whoosh. So they were doing that feud with Heyman Adam Page and Whoosh where, since Andrade's group and the Dark Order were feuding, it led to that feud, which was pretty good stuff there. MJF defeated Willa Yuta. They started a feud between them on the Dynamite before that, and it led to this feud there. It ended up being a hell of a match. They teased like MJF was going to take out William Regal, but it was not to be. I think he will take him out one of these times with the Dynamite win, but they're just going to save it for like probably a Dynamite that it would get the most heat. It wasn't the time for that yet.
They also teased him being a face a little bit too.
Yeah, they did. Because Lee Moriarty came in and everything like that and like attacked, attacked Willa Yuta and stuff when they went for a handshake, and he was like very, not very happy about it. He's very conflicted.
You just know that was a ploy.
Huh?
You just know that was a ploy because ONL that they would turn MJF into a fucking face.
Other than that happened on the 3-year, I said the 2-year anniversary. It's actually the 3-year anniversary.
Yeah, you're stupid, but I let it slide.
Yeah, you didn't even know. No, you didn't even know. Come on. You would have corrected me. So you're just as bad as I was. So
I just let it slide.
No, you didn't.
Because I'm not mean.
I believe Brian. Oh, this is bad here. So Wardlow faced Brian Cage for the TNT Championship. This was Brian Cage's first Dynamite match. I think in like what?
Yeah. A year?
Yeah.
Over a year.
I know he's shown up on like I know he showed up on like ROH and like Dokes and stuff like that, but
really like that was months ago.
Yeah. He came back, he faced Wardlow for the TNT Championship, and you know, got a really good showing against him. Wardlow absolutely probably should have won because of the fact that there's no reason to take the title off him right now. But I just don't understand why they would just bring back Brian Cage just to lose. Like that didn't really make any sense. Like if I was doing this and you were going to bring back Brian Cage, I would have built to this match for like 2 weeks at least. Have Brian Cage get some type of like squash win on Dynamite or something. Like this, it just It didn't really do anything for Wardlow because he just basically beat a guy that hasn't been on TV for months. So, and then afterwards, the other two guys that are with the other guy, the manager, not Tully Blanchard, but the other guy, I forget. But Gates of Agony, the Gates of Agony,
and the Gates of Agony.
Yeah, they attacked Wardlow and FTR. Those first Joe tried to make the save, but he got outnumbered, and then FTR showed up, and they had a face-off, which set up the match at Battle for the Belts.
After they said that they went on the indie show and said that Tony Khan should use them more.
Yeah. So, yeah. So then so it led up to the Battle of the Belts 4 match, which we'll talk about later on. Other things that happened on the 2-year, Darby Allin faced Jay Lethal in a hell of a match, and it looks like they may be turning Jay Lethal face or like starting a feud between them because afterwards, because he asked for Satnam Singh and not Jay Lethal, what's his name? Sanjay Dutt to stay. How could Jay Lethal stay in the back and be in the win at the same time? But he asked for Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt to like stay in the back, and then they came out anyways, and it caused him to lose. And afterwards, Darby Allin like shook his hand and everything. He actually shook Darby Allin's hand and told Darby Allin was telling him like you don't need those guys. So it looks like they may be splitting Jay Lethal away from Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. I think,
I think they are.
I think that might be a mistake though, because I don't even know if Satnam Singh's really ready to be on his own yet. He's looking pretty impressive in the elevation matches that he's had and stuff, but he hasn't had like a full match by himself yet. So taking him away from Jay Lethal.
I don't think it's like maybe they get a new associate.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Do the wrestling because I know Dutt's retired at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's had like a couple matches in here and there, but he's basically retired for the most part. So, let's see other things that happened.
Comedy too.
Yeah. The Acclaimed, it was National Scissoring Day on the 2-year anniversary. I am trying to remember, was it the 2-year anniversary? The 3-year anniversary.
Still 3. It hasn't changed.
That was last week, right? I just want to make sure I have okay.
Yeah,
so
because tonight they're in Canada.
All right, so that last week was
this is Wednesday. So I almost forgot what day it was for a second.
Yeah. But yeah,
Wednesday,
last week.
So it's going to be it's AEW in Canada tonight for the first time.
I've been watching so much wrestling as of late and like playing games and playing 2K22, the WWE one, not the NBA one. I just can't keep track of like what days, like when things happen at this point. But anyhow, so last week, it was National Scissoring Day apparently. So the Acclaim came out and did a very awesome promo. It's just really one of those things you have to see. And they used that to set up a match between Swerve Strickland and Billy Gunn. Because Swerve and Our Glory basically said that it's because of Billy Gunn that they lost the AEW Tag Team Championships. Which you can make the argument of that because had Billy Gunn not interfered, it would have led to them losing. And I think we know Swerve is definitely a heel. I think
Swerve is 100%.
We saw a taste of it 2 weeks ago. I think Keith Lee's turning heel because I don't know if I want to boo Keith Lee, like I said, but I think he could pull it off because he was we saw a taste of Keith Lee as a heel when he confronted the Acclaim 2 weeks ago about what happened. So he might be able to do it. I think he could do it.
He could
see a taste of it. And if you're gonna turn Keith Lee heel, I don't think there's any perfect opportunity to do it. than this feud here, because they claimed are massively over and everything like that. So we'll see. But I am interested. And then I think that's about everything that happened in the. We also had the match with Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, where Jericho cheated to beat Daniel Garcia. I really liked how they did that, where they had Jericho cheat to win, because it protected Daniel Garcia, and I think it continues his slow burn, and he's basically a face now, but he's not like full. He's more of a tweener right now, but more of a baby face. But he's definitely breaking away from Jericho soon, and I really like how they're doing that right now, because it really gets him over. I don't think he's necessarily going to join the Blackpool Combat Club, because William Regal said that he'd rather have him as an opponent than as a teammate, which that makes sense, because it makes the people in the Blackpool Combat Club better. So
it does, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, why would you want to have a guy like that as your teammate? So I'm not saying in a way to discredit Daniel Garcia. I'm saying it in a way to it helps the members of the Blackpool Combat Club. I mean, they need all the help they can get, because they gotta improve. I mean, they're still awesome, but you can only get better by facing better opponents. So that's exactly the case there. I think that's about everything that happened. And then they've also started a feud between Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill. We'll talk more about it. I understand it, because it's it's a monster. It's an unproven commodity that Jade Cargill is going to go against, but it's just going to be I just know it's going to be a terrible feud, because I just don't care about both of these wrestlers. So, I mean, it's better than Marina Shafir, I guess, but I just do not want to see this feud. So, and I don't even know. I know the match, I think, is going to be bad too, because Jade Cargill kind of sucks, and I don't think that Nyla Rose is good enough to carry Jade Cargill to go to a good match. I just don't think the styles are going to mesh together and all that type of stuff. So, I just know we have a bad match coming. I just want you to be prepared for that. So,
I already see that.
So there was reason to go to this feud, though, because when Jade Cargill beat her, she pinned Thunder Rosa and all that. So I understand the reason, and it's one of those occasions where the end component is going to matter, because you're building to a match that we know is going to be bad. So why would I even care about it? So,
exactly.
And then I forgot one thing that did happen at Grand Slam was Hook teamed up with Action Bronson to face 2.0. I know that's not their name anymore, but I can't remember the other names. So, and Hook's he's being set up to feud with the Trust Busters, specifically Ali Daivari. He gave him some type of envelope to offer him some type of maybe a position into the Trust Busters, but he just ripped it up. So that was a good choice.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be he doesn't need to be in that group. That group needs to get their ass kicked. So that was a very good choice right there. So
yeah.
Your thoughts in total on the 2-year anniversary? Not sorry, the 3. You could give your thoughts if you want on the 2-year anniversary, but that was a year ago. On the 3-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite.
I thought it was good. The scissoring day press conference was my favorite part of the whole show.
Yeah,
I think it was everyone's favorite part of the whole show, honestly.
Yeah,
that's what they built up to. But yeah, I thought it was a overall decent show.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be daddy ass.
And then we're gonna talk about Rampage from this weekend, Battle of the Belts 4 for a little bit. It's actually a pretty fast podcast. I don't know why it's so fast. Maybe because I just want to get through it, because AEW's pissing me off as of late, so I just want to do this as fast as possible. I don't know. But anyhow, huh?
I think it's pissed off everyone recently.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to be too negative, because I like to be positive. So, but I like to have, Rampage was better this week because it didn't take place right after Dynamite this time. It was actually filmed. was actually live this time, so it made the overall experience better. Things that happened were Penelope Ford, Ty Conti and Anna Jay beat Sky Blue and Madison Rain in a match that I totally knew what they were gonna win. So like it's not really worth talking about anymore. So I didn't really like Rampage. Like I liked Rampage, but the thing that really sucked about Rampage this week was Jericho was just really annoying on commentary. I know he's a heel, but like it wasn't even that though. Like he's just so bad on commentary that he just wins the whole show down sometimes. And I think now that he's turned heel, it's even worse. But I think a lot of people are condoning it because now he's a heel. He's allowed to be that way, so he's trying to be more so annoying. But because of him being so annoying and because he's so bad on commentary, it just doesn't really add to anything. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta beat Private Party and Roosh. That ended up being a really good 6-man right there. I really enjoyed that. They're doing a storyline right now too, where it looks like we talked about it before, but now they're actually starting to do it on Dynamite now and stuff like that. Where Matt Hardy's trying to get Private Party to get out of the AFO contract, which is that's going to be hard to do now because considering the fact that we'll talk about it when we do the news section. That the leader of the group, I mean, Bruce could always just fill the role. The leader of the group's going to be gone from the company. Probably is already gone at that point. We may never see him again. I'm assuming what was meant to happen was we'll talk about it. I'm assuming that they were going to cost Andrade the match with 10, and that would have been how they would have gotten out of their contract. But because of the backstage drama, that we have to rewrite the story now. So other things that happened.
The fact that Andrade was going to lose.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's going to be gone from the company because he doesn't want to fucking be there anymore.
We'll talk about it though later. Another thing that happened on Rampage last week was Tony Nese and Josh Wood absolutely squashed the Varsity Blondes. Go watch the AEW Spark episode that we did. It was me and James the He-Man Heber, James Hebert Side 95, whatever he wants to be called, where we just completely ranted about the usage of Varsity Blondes. It was like the episode, I forget which episode that it was, but it was the episode where they faced the Gun Club, when they were the Gun Club, and they completely squashed it.
Under 15 seconds?
That's pretty much what happened here too. And they just looked terrible. Smart Mark Skolin trademarked the name Varsity, so now they've changed. So now they basically lost their tag name now. So this is just honestly, the Varsity Blondes need to fucking leave because they're just gonna get jobbed out every week. So
they treat them like shit. That name means something in wrestling.
Yeah,
Brian Pillman. I'm not too sure they've heard of him because they seem to ignore the legacy.
Yeah.
But if he came to WWE, they would talk about it.
Yeah.
And he'd be pushed. He's fucking 29 years old. Prime of his fucking career. And they're treating him like he's fucking dog shit.
I know.
And they've been doing this for years to him. He gets super over. He gets super hot, super on fire. And then he'd just be like fucking jobbed out in 40 seconds and then forgotten about for 3 months.
Yeah. He never even got tagged into the match.
Had that, when they were Stone Jacksonville, they had that tag team gauntlet that they won.
Yeah.
And they got fucking jobbed out in the fucking tag match.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? They spent all this time building up Brian Kendrick, Brian Pillman, and they're like, well, what the hell? You spent all your time in the world building this guy up for fucking 2 straight weeks, and then he just they lose in the tag match?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's
a joke.
And then the main event of Rampage, it was supposed to be, so you follow the backstage report. You could talk about why it didn't happen. It was it was the 2-year anniversary. So that's why I think I got 2 years mixed up because it was the 2-year anniversary of Brody Lee's last match. AEW. So we were supposed to get 10 versus Andrade El Idolo because they were doing that storyline where they wanted Andrade El Idolo wanted 10 to work for him, so they were going to do Mask versus Korea. What talk? Because like I said, I didn't want to read the news because I just don't want to hear about the backstage drama anymore. But I say that, and I'm going to hear about it now, anyways. But why did that match not happen?
So there were reports online that they got into a fight. Him and Sammy, Andrade and Sammy got into a fight, which they did. Reports on both sides have said that Sammy shoved Andrade first, and Andrade swung and fucking hit him in the face. Other reports say that Andrade was looking to get fired after he said on social media, because they had a social media spat online, which I think was real. Again, it just doesn't seem like a storyline where you go online and just bury each other. But people are convinced that it's a fucking work, but it's not. But on the opposite side, it said that Andrade was trying to get fired, and he did other niceties. He said he wouldn't start anything at Dynamite. So they show up to Dynamite, and Andrade went up to him, punched him right in the face. So I don't know what side to believe. I don't know if Sammy was the instigator, if Sammy wasn't doing anything. But the common denominator is Sammy Guevara. He just constantly keeps getting into backstage shit because his mouth keeps cashing checks that his ass cannot cash. So, if I was Andrade or Eddie Kingston, I'd want to get the fuck out of that company.
Yeah.
And I think now's the time. I think Tony should just hedge his bets, just let him go back to WWE. I know he doesn't want to let him go back to WWE, but why let him sit there and be a malcontent if he doesn't want to be there? He wants to be with his wife. Malachi Black wants to be with his wife. Let them fucking go.
Buddy Matthews.
Stop holding them hostage and let them go. People all up in arms on WWE was doing it. Where are these fucking same people? Where are they? Where are you right now? They're holding fucking Malachi Black, Andrade, and Buddy Matthews hostage. They don't want to fucking be there. Let them go.
Yeah, I'll just give first let me talk about this. Just go watch the AEW Spark episode that Chris and I did, but we talked about the backstage drama. It's I forget the date of the Spark, but I know I tell you to go watch these Spark episodes. I can't even tell you the dates of them, but it's the episode. You'll find it though. You'll be able to find it. Don't worry. Where we talked about the backstage drama between the Elite and CM Punk. Basically, we're just going to say the same thing we said about that, but this is kind of if Andrade Alito is trying to get fired, this is on Tony Khan that this backstage drama happened, because if you just let these wrestlers just go, we wouldn't even have to have this conversation right now. I understand you don't want WWE to get all the talent because WWE is getting all the talent right now because it's a better company at the moment, but you have all this talent anyways. You're gonna be fine. Just push the talent that you have. You have a lot of talent that's sitting around, and some of it in catering, some of it is just stuck on dock. It's not even like Andrade Alito is a big name right now in your company. You're not using him as such, so why do you even care that he leaves? Is Andrade going to go to WWE and probably be a big name? Probably, but this is on you for not booking Andrade Alito like a credible talent like he should have been to begin with. Now, Malachi Black is a different story. We talked about Malachi Black. He wants to just be with his wife. Buddy Matthews, same thing, but you could make the argument that Buddy Matthews was in the exact same position that he was in when he left WWE, a disciple for a cult figure. That's basically he was in the exact same position that he was in when he left WWE and went to AEW. So that he should have been used a lot better than that. There was no legit. He was the same character that he was in WWE until the end when he went to AEW. Unexcusable.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Now,
Do you guys mind if I just interject real quick? Because I actually have like at least one thing I want to at least get out since I actually covered this story myself on Open Mic Night.
This is James, by the way.
Yeah, hello, it's me. I will say that one that I will say is debunked until said otherwise, only because I take some form of mental health seriously for obvious fucking reasons. I wonder why. Is Malachi Black at least saying it was because of like medical leave, and this is like even before Tony or any rumors came out that he wanted to leave the company. So I'll stick with that on Malachi. Everybody else, probably fair enough. You could take it either way, but that's just my thing with it. I just wanted to make that known for.
Well, the thing is, I think it is mental health a little bit too, but like,
Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting knocked on the door. Continue.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying I think I made this. It could be mental health, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aleister Black is in WWE by WrestleMania, that he had to basically say it was mental health just so he could get out of that company. Just because Tony Khan is so dead set against releasing talent. So
I would say that if he didn't come out with a video basically debunking the whole thing on his own terms.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of where I'm like, all right, well, obviously there's some merit to this. Nobody else has done that other than Malachi, by the way.
Yeah,
he's the only one that like has said, no, this is what it is. I'm literally coming back the minute I'm better, and the minute I'm in better, mental standings or whatever. He doesn't have any plans to leave, mainly due to the fact that kind of wants to get that faction going as best as he possibly can. I don't think that has any merit as to what's going on with him character-wise. Even though they haven't been booking him the best, I think there is more to it. That's my point.
I do think, though, even because he's not signed, if Triple H did call him up before Tony Khan, he would totally go to WWE, though.
That's true.
Especially because...
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Chris, you were saying?
Yeah, I feel like he has struggled a while with his mental health. I just think that he wants to be with his wife. That's my personal opinion.
Probably. I mean, when you struggle with mental health, it's better to be with a significant other in that case than to be alone in your own fucking head. Especially if you're on the road 24/7 like a lot of these guys are. So that is a factor going in, probably.
And I'm not saying, by the way, maybe the backstage drama too in AEW is probably is going to be worse for his mental health.
Oh, that didn't help. There's no way that helped issues. No way. Absolutely no way. I mean, fuck me. You guys know where my fucking mindset is. If I'm that way with AEW, I can only imagine what the hell it's doing for the fucking morale for certain people backstage. Jesus Christ. I mean, Chris kind of touched on it earlier. I overheard him. He's 100% right on a lot of the shit he said. It's fucking ridiculous at this point. Just grow a set of balls, Tony, and fucking discipline these guys when they get out of line. It's really not that hard. Dude, if I can fucking do it with my Ricky Dink CAW league, you got no excuse, bro. You got no fucking excuse. You got zero excuses here.
And you could say that, I probably shouldn't say this on some of the people that you've had to probably deal with, they
were fucking, like, over the moon bad. Like, and I won't get into why on the air for obvious fucking reasons, but, like, take a fucking stand, dude. Like, it's not that fucking difficult. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I wanted to just clear the air, at least on Malachi's stance, just because I feel like there's probably some point to it, but I just want to see. I don't want to say anything on that front until it's said otherwise, even if it's like months down the line. Just in his case, that's just my thing. All right, you boys, back to it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically the situation with Andrade Ali. So they had to change the match on Rampage from the 10 versus Andrade Ali. They changed it to the Trios title match. It was going to be Death Triangle defending against Dark Order members 10, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Yeah, it's a hell of a match, though. I would definitely recommend watching it. Pac cheated again with help of Jose, the assistant. He used the ring gavel again. Again, he's just being a cheater, but he gotta do what it takes. Gotta do what it takes to attain the championship. So good for you. I'm really proud of him. And then it led afterwards to later in the show backstage. Ethan Page called out Matt Hardy for contract tampering, and they showed us footage on. They had Jose, the assistant's iPad. Now you're probably thinking, Chris, that he just stole it. No, that's not what happened. I'm going to tell you, they probably just Jose, the assistant, probably just let him borrow it. Don't accuse something that you don't even know about. Okay, so
stole it.
It
was stolen.
It was not stolen. He probably. You don't need to see everything that happened. You don't need. What do you need to see like Jose, the assistant, give him the iPad? Like,
yeah, I want to see it.
Use your common sense.
See it, or else it's stolen.
But anyhow, it was Matt Hardy having some type of conversation with Private Party, and Matt Hardy denied it. Matt Hardy's acting here was pretty bad. But I think he was meant to I think it was meant to be, but it was kind of also just bad too. But it looks like maybe the Canada Rampage, because they're doing Rampage in Canada, we're probably going to get Matt Hardy versus Ethan Page, because they probably want to get Ethan Page somehow on that show because he's from Canada. So it's not that hard to figure out. He'll probably be like super over, but I imagine Matt Hardy will still be just as over because it's freaking Matt Hardy. So there you go. But yeah, then we're going to talk about the Battle of the Belts 4 show. I'm not going to ask you your opinion on Rampage, as I know you didn't watch it. I don't even have to.
I didn't watch a fucking single bit of it.
Going to Battle of the Belts 4. This might be the last Battle of the Belts ever, because the ratings to Battle of the Belts haven't been very strong. I think they get lower and lower each time they do it. I think the highest rated one was the first one, and then it just went down like fast. So, this one could be up though, just because it was right after Rampage this time. They had to do it They had to do it on Friday this time because it would have gone up against Extreme Rules, and they probably would have gotten. I mean, I say destroyed in the ratings, but technically Extreme Rules is on TV. But they would have the ratings would have been so low that WWE would have laughed at them of how low they were. I think Chris would have laughed at them too. He would have been having a field day with it. So
yeah, it would have been.
We don't need that happening. So, Chris is probably still gonna laugh at him. I see it coming. He's gonna the ratings are gonna come out. He's gonna post in the chat. Oh, this is just so laughable. That's totally gonna happen. So,
just FYI, before you guys continue, I'm gonna be going out. So if you guys need to stop the recording, just let me know, and I'll try to rush back here as soon as possible. But I'm gonna step out for 15 minutes, just letting you know.
Okay.
We gotta keep the show going for 15 minutes. So. Yeah, so we had Battle of the Belts 4. Pac had to defend his All-Atlantic Championship right after the trios match, which I thought was really good stuff. It made Pac look like an Iron Man. I mean, he's done Iron Man matches before, so he had been wrestling for 45 minutes. He cheated again, but like I said, you got to do whatever it takes to keep your championship. And then afterwards, Orange Cassidy returned. And now they're doing a rematch in Canada on Dynamite between Orange Cassidy and Pac for the All-Atlantic Championship. We'll do predictions for that when we get a minute.
Maybe not, though. Maybe we won't do any predictions ever again.
Yeah. Then we already talked about the TBS Women's Championship match. We're not talking about that again. And then Jericho announced that he's going to be Lionheart for the Bryan Danielson match, which makes sense because he was Lionheart when he beat Bryan Danielson, so that makes all the sense in the world. And then, then we had FTR beat the Gates of Agony. They beat him with a roll-up, which I liked the fact that they out-wrestled him. Afterwards, they did the same segment again where they got beat down by the Gates of Agony. Brian Cage came out. Then Wardlow and Samoa Joe, even the odds, they're probably setting up some type of maybe 8-man or some type of 6-man tag with FTR and maybe Wardlow versus Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. They might want to try to get Samoa Joe in there somehow. I don't think Prince Nana's a wrestler, but I could see him getting somebody else to maybe make it an 8-man tag. Maybe it'd be Chris. Chris could step in there, but I don't think Chris is going to go up. yeah, Chris isn't interested, so there goes that. So we'll see. That was Battle of the Belts 4. I thought it was really enjoyable. No problems with it, none whatsoever. And that's basically AEW like programming. So if you had to give AEW like programming right now, Chris, like a letter grade on a scale from like F to S, where it breaks the scale, what would you give AEW programming?
Overall, every fucking thing that happened on every fucking show in this fucking company. Fuck.
Since Grand Slam, yeah.
B+.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same. I would give it what keeps it for being an A is the booking of the women's division and the backstage.
Everything besides the women's division was fine.
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about some dark stuff that's been going on. Not stuff like on AEW Dark Elevation and AEW Dark, not like stuff in the dark. That would be weird.
We have to wait for it to be dark and then talk about it in the dark.
All right, so we gotta wait here. We gotta wait for like another 6 hours then. So, but anyhow, no. So, you've had some important stuff happen on Elevation and Dark recently. Like we talked about, Serpentico is now at 98 career losses.
Let's go, Serp.
I know we already talked about it, but it's just such a laughable thing that it's worth talking about again. I really love the fact that they have a wrestler that's going to go out there and just have 100 career losses. It was bound to happen at some point. And Serpentico is going to have his name in history forever. He's going to be the first wrestler to have 100 career losses. Like I said, I still want him to do that whole thing where he gets a trophy for getting 100 career losses. That would be awesome. And you know his reaction to it, too, would be like the best, too. Like, he had a hell of a match this week with Brandon Cutler, too. It was a hell of a match.
Not even, it was fucking 5 stars.
Yeah. Paul White was just freaking laughing the whole match. Like, it was awesome.
You kidding me? That's the best match in the history of professional wrestling.
They were saying that was the best AEW Dark Elevation main event ever. That might have been. So, other things that's happened on Elevation. Dalton Castle and the boys have been showing up. They recently, not this episode, but the last episode, I forget who they faced, but they defended the ROH 6-man World Tag Team titles. It wasn't like necessarily a squash, but you knew they were going to win with the team that they faced. So, because I think the team
if it's just like 3 thrown together wrestlers that have 0 wins in AEW, then yes, it's a squash.
But this one wasn't a squash because the guys did get like an entrance and everything too, if you remember. So, so it wasn't a complete 100% squash. So.
It's a squiggity squash.
Marina Shafir continues to be freaking terrible. I don't think she's had a match on Elevation necessarily, but I think it's still worth mentioning that she's.
I think because of how awful that promo was, they stopped using her again.
Yeah, because she hasn't wrestled.
Well, she wrestled this past week, but she hasn't cut a promo since then.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I never want to hear that woman talk again.
It looks like Ian Riccaboni. It looks like for the time being, anyways, Ian Riccaboni is going to be the play-by-play guy on Elevation because he's done it for like the past month. I think because he's there anyways for when they do the ROH title matches. I imagine he's going to be doing commentary again. The next one because they are doing the Jericho Bryan Danielson title match. He's probably going to be on tap for the commentary. I think that's a great decision because Excalibur can't do freaking 4 shows. That's too much for one guy to do. So, But I think sometimes he takes it like a bit too seriously. Like it's fine to be serious, but I think he takes it a bit too seriously sometimes. Because I remember doing the Serpentico Brandon Cutler match. He's trying to be serious, and it's like supposed to be a comedy match. Like he's not laughing or nothing. He's just straight in this bogged down serious guy. Like
he has to be serious.
This is actually going to be good for him to do commentary on Elevation, especially with Matt Menard there, because Excalibur was getting bad for his gambling problem. He was like egging him on to gamble. So I think that's good.
Yeah, gamble like a motherfucker. Let's go.
No, he has a problem, and Excalibur is not a good foil for his problem.
Let's go. Gamble, you pussy.
You want him to lose all his money?
Lose all your money. Do it.
All or nothing. we ranted about it, but Brian Cage has been having competitive matches on AEW Dark and Elevation. That's not good. Stop. Just stop. Those matches should be like 5 seconds. That's it.
They really should be.
Yeah. On Dark a few weeks ago, Dante Mountain and Matt Sydal blew off their feud with the Workhorsemen. They won every match. Every match. They didn't lose one match. So, but poor Workhorsemen can't even get a win there. So, like they're not approaching 100 career losses though. So that's good. So, Taz continues to laugh and joke around on Dark, which is good for him. That it keeps him. He was really mad last night though. He was just not in a good mood.
He was angry.
Yeah, he was a grumpy. I don't know what he was grumpy about. They tried to make it seem like it was about baseball or something, but I don't even think it was about that. I think he was just grumpy last night. I don't know what was wrong with him. So
he's just a grumpy man.
Yeah. They had
actually grumpy Taz.
Yeah. What was the guy's name last night that fought QT Marsh? Because he's worth talking about. He was Action
Andretti.
Action who?
Action Andretti.
Yeah, he had a really good performance against QT Marshall. I'm really proud of him. Too bad he's probably never going to be seen again, but it's still good that he got his name out there. Get some noticed. So
get some action and then Andretti.
Huh?
Get some action, a little Andretti.
Yep. And then so that was that, and then so I think that's about everything that is important that's happened on the docks. Hikaru Shida's a double champ now. She's come out with the Wave Championship, and she's some type of tag champion now in some other Japan company. So I imagine she's going to come out this week with both of the championships and never defend them ever, 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 ever. So
never.
Yep. That's everything that's been going on the docks lately. So good on all these people for getting performances on Dark. And again, Serpentico, he's gonna get to 100 career losses. I'm really looking forward to it. The second he gets to 100 career losses, I'm just gonna laugh. So
I'm just gonna be a Serp boy.
I love him, and he's awesome. So
ain't nobody like Serp.
Yeah. They should repackage Shelton Benjamin's gold. Ain't no stopping me, no, and just call it ain't no bud like so no.
He's Serp.
Yeah, that's anything on Doc that's gone on recently that you want to talk about?
Serp is the only thing.
Yeah.
But Dark and Elevation this week was really good. It's been a few weeks since both shows were actually really good.
Yeah. What happened this week was Dark wasn't in the studios this week. It was NDC because they taped Rampage and Dynamite on separate days, and it looks like that's going to be not forever, but it looks like there's going to be a few shows. If you notice, on the bottom on the screen, they'll advertise future shows. There's going to be a few shows where Dynamite and Rampage are taped on different days, which I think is a good call because that was just a terrible decision around to do it.
It just wasn't. It definitely is a thing to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I still told you, I think we're coming on a year when that happened. There was one episode. Remember when Rampage first started? There was news that broke where when it was in Boston, half the people that's not. You don't even know how true that is until unless you were actually there. It was wasn't as bad as when we went to SmackDown and a lot of people left doing 205 Live. This was just so many people left that episode of Rampage that it wasn't even.
Oh yeah.
And one of the matches, someone chanted, "Come on, it's 11 o'clock." People wanted to go home. So
yeah, people were just fucking done.
Yeah, but yeah, that's basically everything that's going down on the docks and elevations and everything like that. So good. I just really want Serpentico to get to 100 career losses. That's the thing I really want to happen. But
the Serp.
Yeah. Let's do predictions now for the tonight's Dynamite, which is going to be the first time ever that's going to be in Canada. It's a big moment for AEW. This is the first time they're leaving in like an international stage. So it's going to be kind of a test to see, obviously this is happening now because they were meant to go to England, but then the pandemic hit. So they haven't been able to travel outside of the United States until now. The Canada is going to be that first time they're doing it. I hope it does well. It would have been nice if they could have done this a while ago, but like I said, the pandemic got in their way because AEW was more of a. I'm not saying that it's still not a hot brand, but because of all this stuff that's come out that's really have affected AEW and everything like that. So, we'll see if this can become a thing. Like I said, I still need AEW to last. I think in like another 2 years because Chris will have to buy me dinner and a movie, so I still need that to happen. So, and Chris needs it to end within the next 2 years, so that way the opposite happens. But, luckily Chris doesn't go to the movies a lot, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. So, dinner would be a problem because he does eat out every Friday, so he might eat out. And I have a feeling what's going to happen is Chris is going to order all this food and make me have to really pay the money. So, like, you don't really realize how much I need AEW to stick around. So,
I'm going to make you pay for $7,000 worth of food.
Yeah, so we need AEW to stick around. Well, at least I do, anyways. My bank account will thank Tony Khan for it. So, and Chris's bank account won't thank Tony Khan if AEW sticks around another 2 years. So he'll have to buy me dinner one night. And
I won't make it through.
Huh?
I won't make it through.
Yeah. Chris is gonna be like
I'd just dine and dash.
But I feel like too, you're gonna like say no, you're not buying that. You're gonna try to like approve of what I buy, what I get at a restaurant. You're like, nope, not getting that. Nope. I feel like you're gonna do that.
We're going to fucking McDonald's and you're gonna get a fucking Happy Meal. That's all you're gonna get.
Not even the whole Happy Meal too. Probably just like
nope.
Probably just fries or something.
You'll get one chicken nugget and one fry.
This is what happens.
One chicken nugget, either a half a chicken nugget.
That's falling on the floor too, right?
Yeah, it's got fucking piss and shit all over it.
I was just thinking this, by the way. I know we're off topic, but AEW's backstage.
We have to kill time.
Yeah. You told me you had a mice problem.
Are we still struggling for time here?
I don't know. We're just gonna keep going. You told me that you had a mice problem. There's a good chance, by the way, that two of these things happened. When I was sleeping on your couch in the basement, I could have been sleeping on like mouse piss or something like that that's been sitting over for a while. Or
no,
there could have been mice.
It wouldn't have been.
And I never even knew it.
I mean, you could. I don't even know when the hell they got in, but
I slept over your house during that period of time, so
Yeah,
anyhow,
it could have been, but they were never on the couch though.
I'm gonna send a text to. I was gonna say Man in the Sky, but it's just James because he's already outed himself now. So I'm just gonna say we're wrapping this up soon because I'm done. I'm gonna AEW my time. So I wanted this to be the WWE Straight of the Dress video, but that didn't happen. So I wanted that to be the first video I made coming back, but nope, didn't work out that way. So let's do predictions for AEW in Canada. We're just gonna go one by one. I'm just gonna do the card off the top of my head. So tonight we're gonna get another random tag match for the woman that's just thrown together. We're gonna get Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter. To be fair, this isn't completely thrown together because this match was supposed to happen like a month ago, I think, and actually maybe a few weeks ago. Sheeta was taken out in that awful backstage segment on Dark, and then Jamie Hayter didn't want to team with Britt Baker. So to be fair, there is a reason for this match, but I think just because you know how AEW books their women's division, you just know it's just one of those random thrown together women's tag matches. And like I said, I'm sick of this. I don't want to see. And as for who wins this match, it's really tough to call considering the fact that it really could go either way. I'm going to predict that Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter will win this match with Hikaru Shida taking the loss because I don't think Britt Baker's won a match in a while. So she needs to get a win. It really doesn't matter if Britt Baker wins or loses anyways because she'll just be the most talked about thing coming out of this match. So it really doesn't matter. But I'm just going to go with that. Maybe Jamie Hayter will get the win on Hikaru Shida actually because it seems like they're building up Jamie Hayter to be the next opponent for Toni Storm, depending on if Thunder Rose is going to be back before then, but I don't even really know or care when she's coming back. Not that I don't care about Thunder Rose, I just don't care about this division. I'm sick of this division, at least the booking of it anyways. So I'm just going to say Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter. She wins anyways, no matter what, because it would be the most talked about thing coming out of it. So even if she loses and gets them and is the most talked about thing coming out of it, I'm right regardless. So she wins. And Britt Baker anyways because she's going to get them paid the most out of all these women. So no matter what, Britt Baker wins. So who are you picking?
It really could go either way. But I think Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida are going to win.
Okay.
Because I think this is where Britt Baker turns on Jamie Hayter.
Okay. But it doesn't matter anyways because Britt Baker's going to be the most talked about thing coming out.
Either way, either she loses or she wins. It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah. No matter who wins and loses this match, no one's going to be more over or less over. Actually, if anything, they'll be less. They could be less over. Sheeta definitely will be less over, and I can guarantee you. Actually, no matter what, Sheeta loses too because she'll be less over coming out of this match probably. So who honestly cares? I don't care. We have an All-Atlantic Championship match tonight. It's Pac defending against Orange Cassidy. This is the rematch from the Grand Slam episode of Dynamite. This actually could go either way. I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say Orange Cassidy wins. I think it's finally time for him to win some type of championship. And I think Orange Cassidy winning the All-Atlantic Championship could very well happen, considering the fact, that Pac cheated before to win. And I think they want to get the belt on Ethan Page somehow. And I think Orange Cassidy is more of a babyface for Ethan Page to beat for the championship. I think Orange Cassidy will have like a month reign with the championship and then lose it right away. It will be because, like I said, we talked about this before. Orange Cassidy is a bit of a problem when it comes to putting a belt on him because I think a lot of people are going to shit on it because of his gimmick. But I think he's got to get a belt though. He can't. He's been in AEW and he's really over. He really needs to get a championship. So I'm picking Orange Cassidy to win. Who are you picking?
I think I'm going to go Orange Cassidy too. I think it's time.
Yeah. And then we have another match. I know there's another match announced. It's Talk to the People while I look. Because Noah posted on Facebook. So
is it there? Is it on their Twitter?
It might be, but I'm going to go on Noah's Facebook because Noah was nice enough to share it on Facebook.
I'm eating a sandwich while you guys try to find it.
I found it.
Okay. So one of them is Billy Gunn versus Swerve Strickland.
Yep.
Who do you have on that one? I got Billy Gunn.
I'm going to go Swerve Strickland via Keith Lee finally turning heel with Swerve Strickland. I think this is going to be the match where Keith Lee finally turns and it cost... there's no reason for Billy Gunn to win anyway. Swerve Strickland's the younger talent, and you need to get...
But he's daddy ass!
He needs to get his heat back from losing. So I think Swerve Strickland's going to win.
Well, so
you going Billy Gunn?
I said the badass Billy daddy ass Bill Gunn.
Okay. Now, the question I'll ask you, if Billy Gunn does win, though, do you still see Keith Lee turning, or do you think they're going to wait on that?
I think it really does depend, but I think because it's always like they call it like Bizarro World in Canada when they were in WWE. I think they wait till they get to the States the following week. But I think it's soon, though, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they still could do it here, though, because they claimed, even though it's Bizarro World, I think it's still going to be over into Canada because, everyone loves the Acclaimed, as they always say. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could work in Canada.
Then we have Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus. This is the match I forgot about, too. This really could go either way, but I'm going to go with Luchasaurus because for a couple of reasons. One, he just turned heel into the monster. He needs to get a big win. And two, because Christian Cage is, I mean, they have to extend this as long as they can because Christian Cage is hurt.
Exactly.
So if Jungle Boy wins, there's no there's no reason to continue it and stuff. Like, that's still going to be interesting how they're going to keep Jungle Boy away from Christian Cage for this long, though. Like,
or even fucking Luchasaurus.
Yeah, like,
I think their best bet is to, in this meantime, have them reform their tag team, and then have Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus turn on him again.
I know, but like you already
have him gain that trust again. Because that's the only fucking way, and have him go back to the green suit, so they know that's a full change again.
Yeah, but then
no one fucking believed him when he stayed in the fucking black attire.
The problem with doing that, though, is it's going to make Jungle Boy look really stupid if he trusts him again and he turns on him. Remember when that was happening with DDP and WCW? He kept getting turned on so much that it made him look really stupid. Like, you don't.
Yeah,
like,
but what the hell else are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, they did the same thing with Sting. I mean, they booked themselves in a no-win situation there.
Yeah. So.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Who are you picking to win this match, at least? Luchasaurus or Jungle Boy?
Or it says, quote-unquote, Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. Like, they don't even know if his name is Jungle Boy.
Well, yeah, that's a JR. JR kind of started that, so.
I'm going to pick Luchasaurus. It just makes sense if you want to continue the feud. I just don't know if you can keep this feud going for fucking 6 to 9 months or however long Christian's out for.
I know. I don't know why they even. I don't know. They had to.
It's just like you can't like. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I wonder if they brought back. They also, because I think they wanted to get Christian Cage on the Canada show, but they also. Like, they kind of rushed this match, too, because of the circumstances involved. Like, they probably should have waited on this. Like, if you want to have...
For what, 6 months?
6 to 9 months, yeah. Yeah. So it's like...
It's still, like, very early, too. It's not even like, we're near a train for Christian. He's still out for a very, very, very long time.
It hasn't even been a month since... Well, it's only been, like, a month, actually, since the All-Out match. So... Yeah, like, I don't understand what they're doing here.
Could miss up to 9 months.
Yeah, and it's only been a month.
Could miss up to 9, but it's a 6 to 8 month injury.
Yeah. Then we have the main event, not the show, so you can stay here.
Leaving.
Nope, stay. It's the ROH World Championship match. Chris Jericho, who's going to be Lionheart versus Bryan Danielson 3. I'm really looking forward to this match. I wish they would have added like some type of stipulation or something because we've seen this match twice. I'm not even saying they had to do like an Extreme Rules, but maybe like a 2 out of 3 falls match or something like that. So that way it makes the match seem somewhat different. But I have a feeling these guys are such professionals and stuff that they're going to probably do enough things differently where the match will feel different. What's up about it? Huh?
So they're not Brian Myers?
They're not Brian Myers.
Professional wrestler?
I don't even think he does that gimmick really anymore. So, I mean, he does, but not as much. Like, it's not in your face as much. But, I'm gonna let you go first. I feel like it's obvious who's winning this match, but let's see what you think.
So it's either Ring of Honor legend Bryan Danielson or Chris Jericho. Who am I going to pick in this match? I can tell you one thing: it's not going to be Bryan Danielson. That's for damn sure.
Well,
It's going to be Chris Jericho. Again, we could be wrong. I think we're both picking Jericho, but again, we could be wrong. They could just throw the title on Danielson and be like, you know what? Here's the flag bearer for Ring of Honor. You did it before. We'd love to see you do it again.
I don't think though. Jericho is too early in his run as ROH World Champion. I think if he's going to lose the title, it will be when they do another ROH pay-per-view again. He'll because I feel like they're going to do another ROH pay-per-view, and he's going to be the champion going in, so that way the buy weight and stuff will go up, and like the ticket sales will go up.
Yeah, same thing with Danielson. Either way,
yeah,
because Danielson with Raw in his first run,
having Jericho be having Jericho show up in an ROH show would be huge for the ROH brand.
Massive,
so,
yeah.
I think Jericho's going to retain, and then I do think that Daniel Garcia is going to like do something, not necessarily cost him the match, but afterwards he'll come out maybe that's when he finally fully turns on Jericho. Because I imagine at Full Gear we're going to get Jericho versus Garcia, either that pay-per-view or we're going to get it at the ROH.
Because he's pure champion, right? Garcia.
He is.
You can do champion versus champion.
Yeah, you could. But yeah,
you know what would be the ultimate too? If the ultimate fuck you would be Daniel Garcia versus Chris Jericho, ROH Road Champion versus Ring of Honor Pure Champion, champion versus champion match, and have Jericho win. He'd be the ROH World and Pure Champions.
I'd be in favor of that. Yeah, or maybe like they could
that would make Jericho like the ultimate like fucking heel.
Yeah, or they could do something where Jericho like forces Garcia to have to give up the Pure title to get a shot at the ROH world title, which would be
yes, they could do that too.
They've done that before, I think, in ROH. I'm pretty sure. So
it's kind of option C, the Impact thing.
Other matches I think are going to happen on because I think on the Rampage Canada show we're getting Ethan Page versus Matt Hardy, so we'll do a prediction for that match. I think that's an easy win for Ethan Page. It's in his hometown, but I think they're going to do more storyline, advancement with Matt Hardy and Private Party. And then what else is like? Who else is Canadian that? Is there anyone else that's Canadian you think will have a match there that like doesn't have a match right now?
Not Christian Cage.
Well, yeah, he's hurt though.
That's the joke.
Unless if he goes out there with one arm because they cut it off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Fucking one arm Christian Cage. He hit the clotheslines. He hit the spear with one arm.
Too long of a recovery time. He's gonna chop it off.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But yeah, do you think is there anyone else Canadian that
you know what it is? He's cleared by Doc Samson to wrestle. That's why he'll be able to wrestle that day.
Oh my God, that guy, crackpot doctor.
Yeah.
Who also cleared Paige somehow?
Yeah. That I don't agree with that decision.
She takes one awkward looking bump and she's paralyzed.
Yep.
Guarantee you.
Anyway, Owen, you trying to say something? What you got? It's your show.
Yeah, just is there anyone else that's Canadian? I know that Kenny Omega is technically from Canada, but he's not going to be at the show because he's still suspended. But is there anyone else that's like Canadian that you think will have a match on the show? It's not announced yet.
I heard that I think Tony tweeted out that that there's going to be there's going to be a lot of Canadians on this show.
Yeah,
I think he did, or someone said that might not have been Tony, but he said that. But they said there's going to be a lot of Canadians getting a shot tonight. I don't know who that's going to be, but it could be a debut. Could be a Lance Storm situation.
Yeah, he could come out. Yeah, we'll see.
Like who
Lance
knows?
Storm as special enforcer for the Ring of Honor.
In the ROH World Championship.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Yes, history with both men. I mean,
he does. Yeah. Tag team.
anyhow, yeah, I think that's about it then for the for all the AEW talk. Anything else you want to talk about AEW wise, Chris, before we end this?
No, not really. It's gonna be a good. I feel like it's gonna be a really good show tonight, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
First time in Canada.
Yeah, first time in Canada. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Could Renee Paquette show up since she's from Canada?
Probably. I mean, they've been teasing it all week.
For sure, I think she is.
Yeah,
I think she.
That's what they've been referencing. It's what they've been referencing the whole freaking week. Like it's literally again a worst kept secret. Like Jack Kuzon earlier on Twitter after it was like reported by Cultaholics. Like I guess we can't keep secrets in wrestling anymore, huh? No surprises anymore. Exactly. Jesus,
that's gone by the wayside.
Yeah,
but we'll see. But yeah, that's basically it. And it does seem like this is probably like the quickest episode of Spark ever. But AEW's backstage morale is just so bad right now. I just want to talk about it like really quickly and just be like, nope. Honestly, we would have been done the show like 15 minutes ago had we been able to finish it. But I was just, we had to milk it. I'm just gonna tell AEW to like get your backstage morale because then you'll get better AEW Spark episodes.
He's got 2 words for you. Get better.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 2 words for people in the back. Grow up. How about that?
Yeah. Amen to that. That's bro.
Act like adults. Stop fighting with each other,
bro. You guys. Everything you're saying is why I'm behind the fucking booth now for most of the shit because I can't. I can't another fucking minute deal with this shit. It's so fucking toxic. No, I'm not.
They're online.
Yeah,
they're online fighting, and they're hurting each other's feelings in real life. So they take it to the workplace with them,
and then it hurts everybody else's feelings that is either fucking a part of the company or in the industry or is fucking watching as a fan, and nobody fucking wins. Do you win, Chris?
No.
Do you win, Owen?
No, because we had look how short of a podcast we had.
Am I winning? No. Well, actually, yeah, I am winning. You know why? Because I have more fucking time to focus on my own fucking show. Because unlike fucking goddamn Tony and the rest of the goddamn peanut gallery over at the other fucking shit, I don't worry about shit that's fucking completely petty in comparison. So, I know where my priorities are at. AEW, where's yours?
Yo.
Fuck.
But anyhow, yeah, we're gonna end this show. Chris, do you have anything to plug or promote?
No.
Nice. Now, James, since you've been talking a lot during the show, anyways, you want to just plug and promote some stuff since you've been
basically there's not really a whole lot I'm going to be promoting, mainly because I'm barely on camera anymore. I'm on open mic night every week with Jeff Meacham because, again, that's actually commitment I can't back out of, and it's actually fun. Despite all the bullshit, so they at least try to make it entertaining, and they understand where I am as far as how I feel about it. Plus, I don't want to spread myself too thin as it is. But you can check out all the shows involving FTW Productions, because I'm mainly the guy producing all of it. So there you go. Check it all out. Next time you'll see me on camera is probably for a Button Mashers Let's Play. I don't know if it's going to be NASCAR Thunder 2004 or if it's going to be WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Part 2 or 3.
I'll be on one.
Yes, you will. Oh yeah, that's right. You were on the first one, right? I gotta try to get you and Mike on that one, so that way he can answer your fucking question if he even has the answer to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be one of those two. I'll figure it out. And we're also planning a fucking Stable Wars if I can get at least 4 people to fucking do it. One last time with that mob we've been doing it with a whole new crew, plus me. And, yeah, I'm basically, if I'm on camera, it's probably non-wrestling related stuff, unless it's like past stuff or wrestling games.
Yeah, there you go.
It's pretty much where I am because of all this backstage morale, if anybody was curious. So there you go.
I remember you sent me tweets you wanted me to read. I don't really feel like reading them now, so I'm too.
You pretty much, you don't need to. I mean, everything that you guys said is literally how I feel about this and why I'm stepping the fuck away. It's everything that you guys kind of covered. There's no need to read the tweet now. Like, you guys covered it all for me, really. I appreciate it anyway for even having the thought, but there's no point if everybody else was feeling the fucking same way.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's just beat the redundancy out of redundant. Fucking kendo stick to the fucking back of it.
As for my stuff to plug, I got quite a bit of stuff. So yeah, you can check out the past AEW Spark episodes. They're going to be a little bit less ranty. I feel like this is going to be this is probably going to be one of the most disliked episodes because we talked a lot of bad stuff. We ranted a lot about AEW this time. So
it's going to happen time to time.
Yeah. So we have a fun video coming up. I'm really hoping we can get it done this weekend. Chris and I are going to do a state of the WWE address, basically talking about how the company has changed and everything since Triple H has taken over. So that will be a fun video. A lot of work went into. I say a lot of work. I did a lot of work preparing the video. James will be doing more of the editing side of it, but I did a lot of work, preparing the video. Made a lot of good lists and everything like that of everything. Mm-hmm. And then in the future, we're going to do another retro. Steve Coakley, Rockland Rampage, Parachute Man, whatever he wants to call himself at the moment. He'll call himself Parachute Man because he claims that's 2 different people. But, he picked WWE, ECW.
Wait, I got his nickname. What about Rolling Copper Kick to the table because he didn't realize where he was rolling, man? That's my favorite. That's my favorite gimmick.
That is the best one.
That's the best one. Period.
But yeah, he picked WWE ECW One Night Stand 2006.
I'm so glad he picked this. I'm so glad.
I want to try to get other people on. I want to try to get the Indie Force crew on. Hopefully, we can all do like a one big show about it. I just want to try.
I doubt everybody's gonna want to be on that big of a freaking panel. I'll tell you that right now. I could probably get a few guys on for sure.
I at least want to get Casey on because I know he.
Casey, I know will be down if I mention it to him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so that will be a fun one. And then there's a new series that will be coming to the channel that will be announced on the WWE State of the Address video.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. Check out upcoming AEW Sparks. Like I said, I hope the next one's not as angry, but we'll find out. I think this one was angrier too because we hadn't done one in a while, and like a lot of this stuff hadn't happened yet. When this is the first time I had a lot of chance to talk about some of this stuff. So the next one I hope will be less angry, but that's obviously going to depend on.
I hope it's more angry.
I disagree. I disagree.
I still need this company to last another 2 years because that's going to be good for my bank account. So and bad for Chris's bank account. So
sure.
we needed to last another 2 years. I needed to last another 2 years. I mean, it doesn't really benefit James if it lasts. It just benefits Twist and I, but whatever.
Did you guys really make a bet? Is that what I'm hearing?
We did.
Nice. Okay.
We'll find out if it really does benefit me, though, because if I have all these headaches now and stuff, like, maybe it won't benefit me, so we'll see. But,
well, I mean, hey, you know what? You'll get paid, so... I mean, there is that benefit. You just... you'll just look at the money, and you'll be like, Is it worth it? And he'll go to, like, Six Flags or some shit, and he's like, yeah.
But anyhow, that's pretty much it, guys. We're just, like, gabbing and milking it. Let's end this video. We will talk to you guys later, and I can't say my catchphrase because it's in a retro. So, but I guess I can, right? Because when
it technically is being filmed in the past, so.
Yeah, I already screwed it. Up.
All right.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Classic outro by Owen Fitz. Good night, everyone.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as AEW content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.